So if you're a busy parent who always wanted to protect your family with life insurance, but just never had the time to figure out how much you need or what it costs, then this video is for you. I made this simple tool that will allow you to get the answers to those questions in under 5 minutes. So let's take a quick look here. First off, to get here, you'll want to go into the link in the video. Just go to the cost estimator and it'll bring you to this page. Now, once here, you have two buttons here. You can either estimate your cost, or if you don't know how much you need, you can figure out how much you need. So let's start here. We'll go through this, just make some examples here. So first off is debt, credit card, loans, anything excluding your mortgage. So basically what you want to do to fill this one out is just add up all the debt you have. Add up all the credit cards you have, any outstanding loans, personal loans, whatever it may be. If you bought a car and you got a loan on that, you're going to add that to it. And then put that number here. So maybe that number for you is, 25,000. And then after that, we'll go to the income. Pretty self-explanatory. You'd want this income to be how much income you're making. So, if it's 60,000, put 60,000. If it's 100,000, put 100,000. So say 100,000. Years to replace. So what this really means is how many years do you want your family to receive your income, after you pass away. So 10 years means you want your family to receive $100,000 every year for 10 years. If you put it as 5, then it's every year for 5 years. So this number is, a personal choice. You would maybe want to do 10 to cover a longer time span for your kids growing up, so they're covered over a longer period of time. But it's really up to you on that. Mortgage balance, self-explanatory there. Just put how much your mortgage is, your outstanding mortgage that is left to be covered. So let's say 250. And now future education costs. This really just depends on if you want to cover your child's, college education or even trade school or anything after college. So, this is more so a personal number. If you just want to cover 50,000, just do 50,000. If you're like, no, I want my child to go to this specific, university, and they cost about, 50,000 a year or whatever they may cost. It sounds 50,000 pretty big, but you'll want to put that number in there as well. So let's say it's about 50,000. Calculate what I might need. You'll get this number right here. So there you go. You can find out, what would be a close enough number to what your needs are. They'll calculate it for you. And now if you want to estimate your cost, you can use this button and it'll go right here. In this part here, you're going to have to add some, personal information. So age, for example, 30, sex, male, tobacco, nicotine use, no. Term length. Term length basically means, do you want this life insurance to be for 10 years? So that means from the day that you get it and 10 years out, that's the time frame that you're covered. If it's 20 years, then it's from the day that you buy it until 20 years out, that's the time frame that you're covered. If you were to pass on the 10th, on the day after the 10th year, for example, and you had a 10-year term, then your family would not get anything. And if you were to die anytime within that period, then your family would get the payout that was chosen. So coverage amount, it just populates from the previous section there. Height, whatever your height may be, 5'9", what your weight is, and boom, you get a estimate. Now, this is a pretty wide range, but we've done it as such because it really just depends on your health. Okay, so the healthier you are, the the lower the cost will be. You could think of your health as your currency when it comes to life insurance. You know, this part here, if you're not as healthy, you know, then the premium is going to be a lot more per month. So this is just an estimate. It's not a personalized one. To get a very accurate reading, we would have to actually have you apply for a policy first, and then you would see what would be the cost at that time. Now, if you know you're wanting more information, you can always talk to me. You can click on this button and it'll bring you to my calendar. And we can go over it a little bit more if you're still confused, or maybe you want to get a closer idea of what the cost might be for you. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments and I'll get to it. Thanks so much.